completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw... the bust, primarily because in his wheelchair he... Are you done? Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. Now you know how the murder actually took place. And now you know who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the scene. Acro, it could only have been you. Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has.
Yes, you all
but he has
have been
come
mind
to
games.
the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well.
And the power of my... something.
It's great for making mashed potatoes.
Sugar rush, yes? Maybe?
Anger. Maya gets angry.
Yes. And then people think I'm going to punch them.
Yes! Yes, they do.
I wouldn't do that.
People
Nick,
don't know that, Maya.
They say they want evidence. It just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay, then. Use that to get us out of this jam.
As I'm not talking amongst yourselves, proceed, Mr. Wright.
Pepper!
What about Pepper?
Stuff! Okay.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, but seriously. Hard proof that you are... The crime photo? There weren't any footprints? Okay. What did Mo say in his testimony? I forgot.
Mo said that he is Mo, and his name is Mo.
Yeah, I don't care about, Mo and what he said in the last trial, because that last trial was boring. And
all you need to know is that Mo said his name was Mo.
Hard proof that I have. The hat. I don't know
Proof
why.
that Maya is not a murderer.
The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. The ones that we heard over and over again in court. Okay.
These symbols were a numerous times during yesterday's proceeding. That's why yesterday's proceeding was yesterday's proceeding.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool! Do you ever shut up? No, I do
you
not.
got your word back.
Yay! Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing from the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust.
Makes sense if you look at it that way, even if you did see the silk hat, well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court. He said he witnessed white roses.
Today.
What?
She keeps banging on the table like that. She's gonna hurt herself today.
On Max's chest that night, but the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? No. What was that? I'm kidding. Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Yep, that's... Which explains why Mo didn't see it. The roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Backside like butt.
Sure, Maya, sure. Order!
Nick, I don't recall the bust having a butt.
This is quite shocking. Shocking. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
What was the emphasis on road for?
Phoenix can't drive!
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
She's like, I don't have a towel.
Not the whip. Well, so much for that theory.
It's alright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did. Is there something making you think I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this.
Yes, but you're forgetting something, Von Karma.
His brother. Because wasn't it in part the ringmaster not stopping?
No, wait. But you have to realize that he was wearing Max's clothing. There's a chance that he didn't realize it was the ringmaster and he thought it was Max.
Or maybe he was trying to kill Regina. And that's why...
Or he was
Or
he
no,
was upset at Max.
something. There has to be something with Regina because he gave her the note. I don't know. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would try to kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive.
Seems that this case isn't over yet.
Unfortunately. I mean, I guess this day is better than the last one. We at least won't need to break it up into a million pieces. I mean, one piece. It will be broken up. I mean, it won't need to be condensed. I don't know what I'm saying.
Wait, you shattered the courtroom?
What?
I got prize!
Your Honor, continue.
I'm sorry. Very well. I feel this is a good place to take a break. Then we'll listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. Yay! Be continued.
Yeah. Okay. I can't believe it. Acro?
It's pretty shocking, isn't it?
It definitely is. And to think, he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus. Unbelievable. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? My. He's just a little twerp, isn't he? Well, that's one way to put it. Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
Oh no, Detective, I'm sorry. Relax a little. You
Yeah,
got too
people
much
ignore me all
sodium in
the
your
time.
system.
Nick.
Huh? What? What? Oh yeah, why are you getting upset at me?
You see my plate? Yeah, I guess. We've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, Detective? Oh, well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. The result of our investigation. You can look at it later. Won't Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. I was never here. You found this on your own. And, not me. I didn't do anything. Also, she's going to whip me either way, so just...
There's only one
look.
problem.
Details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
Shout!
What? What?
There's only one problem with your plan to make sure everything is a secret.
What?
You have the distinct smell of cup soup.
What?
What? Hold on.
Okay then. Fun. Karma looked like she was in a pretty big hurry, though. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were put into place.
Final plans?
That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Judgment comes at the very last instant. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm going home. What did he mean by that? The very last instant part.
He said everything he said seems pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing. Don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me? Who keeps bringing this guy milk?
I don't know, but he really seems to like it a lot. Like, a lot of... That's a lot of calcium. I can't eat. There's always such thing as too much of everything. Probably way too much calcium. The court is now in session. Shall we continue? Miss Von Karma, please continue.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. Oh.
So, I'm taking that as a no.
Yeah, well... Like, is he less okay than he normally is before these things? Is that what he means? Okay.
We were little. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents.
He hasn't...
That's when the ringmaster of Very Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around year 9, old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
He's using the pronoun game.
What?
He's saying we and us and stuff like that, and then he to be vague.
Instead of
me and my brother. I'm sorry,
No,
my brother and I, because apparently that's correct.
Yeah, I think just this whole thing of
it just looks stupid.
Remove yourself from the sentence.
I know that's how you do it, and I know how to figure it out. It just sounds dumb.
No, the whole thing is you remove the other person from the sentence and see if it still makes sense.
Yeah.
So, me went to the store. Doesn't make sense. English and...
If you put the word after it, then maybe it would just be the wrong person going to the store. Unless it was Mia speaking in the third person. Anyways, let's continue.
Went to the store. That's the answer. Mia went to the store.
Mia went to store.
No, wait. Mia went to the store. Burgers in a refrigerator.
Yes. There we go. Anyways, as you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro could kill the man he held in such esteem.
You're absolutely right. How can anyone think that, Mr. Wright? You're being so stink. Which is why I think that you need not to be stink.
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. No need to question him now. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Okay, then.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to have to do is change the subject to his brother. And then, so we press on this. We?
Yes, my brother Shane and I.
Sean.
Why you have a brother?
How old were you when this happened to Acro?
I was 8. My brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened.
How do you know he's not bitter?
Yeah, he's in a coma. How do you know his opinion?
We're going to end it here. Thanks for watching, Pharaoh.
Unless you have some sort of weird ability to talk to people in comas. Anyway, Pharaoh.
I can talk to dead people.
Yes, we know that, Maya.
Well, actually, no, I can't talk to dead people unless someone else is channeling them. But I can be dead. Whenever I want. Not whenever, though, actually. I can be dead at times.
Yes,
Thanks
you can,
for watching, Pharaoh.
Maya.